Hello and welcome to the 147th episode of Fur, Fins, and Feathers. Today our guest is Nona Maiorano of Rehoboth, Massachusetts. You've been here before. Welcome back.
Thank you, Brian.
And today you are bringing a furry friend.
Well, and he's really my little boy. This is Fergus.
A Portuguese Water Dog.
Yes, he is not a doodle. He is not that there's anything wrong with doodles, but he is not a doodle. He gets confused for that because on the Portuguese Water Dog, they have wavy and curly.
And he is a curly.
Right. So he gets a little bit, sometimes people think he's a doodle, but he's not.
Tell us about the breed.
Well, Fergus comes from Texas. I bought him from a breeder. Her name's Janice May, but the actual breeding name of her breeding is positively Portuguese Water Dogs. So I knew a long time ago, even before the Obamas, because the Obamas made them kind of famous because they had to for the kids. And but I knew even before the Obamas, I wanted a Portuguese Water Dog. One, because in my younger life, I used to have more aggressive dogs. I had a Chow Chow and I had a Jack Russell. And then I took a hiatus of 23 years. I did not own a dog because I didn't want to just have a dog. I wanted to enjoy a dog. So I waited till I retired, and I had a gentleman when I worked, in my job at the Postal Service. I had a gentleman that was a judge for the AKC that knew all the breeds. And I told him what I was looking for in my next dog when I retired one day and blah, blah, blah. And he said, you should consider a Portuguese Water Dog. And I said, why? Because I was complaining about my Chow Chow, that I used to have to buy, the best vacuum on the planet because of the shedding. So he said, well, they don't shed, and they're really good companions. He said, but they're known to be a little bit stubborn. So I can tell you from owning him, I don't agree with that they're stubborn. I don't. He will do what I ask him to do, although he's willful. He wants to do it his way, not my way. He'll do it, but he wants to do it his way. But we've come to a good place where he understands that I'm relentless in what I ask for, so he has to accommodate me. Believe it or not, swimming was a little chore to teach him. I had to put a life jacket on him because he's kind of a tender soul. They're good souls. And what they were bred for was for the Portuguese fishermen. So
the Algarve.
Yes. So that they're not like a Labrador where they retrieve for hunting. They're more of a working breed rather than a sport breed, that they are bred to go and get the fishing nets and bring them back to the boat. Some of them can even dive. Now, Fergus, I do Fergus's haircuts now because I kind of learned. But he's cut not in the traditional Portuguese show style. I give him the pet owner cutting, which is a retriever clip. But when they show, they cut them that they look like a lion. So they keep all...
Not necessarily. I'm going to interject.
Okay.
I have seen them. I've had them in the class...
in judging?
In judging. In both clips.
So you've seen both clips?
I've seen, and I prefer this clip.
Me too. But the reason they clip them for the lion cut is because they keep their fur on the head, the chest, and start in the middle of the body and clip backwards for swimming, but keep them warm from the water and diving up front.
I'm sure the Porty people are going to disagree with me in a lot of cases, but this is the breed, this is the clip rather that I prefer.
Well, I love his fur, so for me, and I will tell you, having had a Chow Chow, I had a dog that already looked like a lion. So I guess I don't really kind of need that. But I love that his mindset in the water, once he really learned to swim, he is such a strong swimmer and he loves it. And just this past year, he's learned how to float on a noodle. So he not only goes in the water, gets the ball, bring it back to me, frisbee in the water, does all of that. Now he's learned how to float. So he's kind of, he's a very unique soul. He's a tender soul. He's not an aggressive dog. He's a tender soul.
They are very versatile.
Very.
And
smart. He's very.
They love family life and children.
They do. And they're very discerning as who's who in the family, because he knows I'm his master, I'm his mama. Now my husband plays with him, so I catch him giving my husband like a little cheap shot now and then, and if Bill won't play with him, he'll get those little arms of his around Bill's leg and try to grab him like he would a net. It's kind of cool. And and Bill said, look at him. And I said, well, to him, you're his playmate. He doesn't do that to me. One, I never allowed it. But two, he understands I'm his trainer, I'm his mentor, and he comes to me when he's upset over something. I really had to learn, because as you know, I train horses. So I really had to learn when I took on training a dog how I had to reduce the pressure. I had to reduce certain pressures with him. But he's very well behaved. He is, but I took him to puppy class and I did everything they said to do. But he can be like around 18 months, almost 2 years old, he decided, maybe I'm going to try saying no. So I did wind up training him with an e-collar, but I didn't just decide on an e-collar. I went to a trainer who's local in town, Jeff Branco, who trains dogs for hunting. He's older now, but Jeff taught me how to use the proper prong collar, the proper pressure, and how to, and I didn't have to use the e-collar very long because Fergus just had to learn I had power everywhere, you know what I mean? So that, and I know some people are very much against that, but I also had another great need for my dog to be obedient, because I could not have him getting up behind the horse or running in the horse's stall.
That was my next question. How does he do with horses?
He's learned that he has to behave. Now, one of the important things that I taught him young was he has to have a place. So when I bring the horses in, I have my neighbor laughs because she hears it all the time. I have a wooden box outside of the barn, and I tell him, on the box. So he has to sit on the box while I bring the horses in to keep him safe. So he's learned all of that. He knows he can't go in the stalls. He's learned he can't do that. But, every now and then he gets a little bit, as a puppy, he'd get excited if the horses were running. So that was a little bit of an education. But
does he like the horses?
Now he loves the horse. My other horse that I retired and doesn't live at the farm anymore loved him because he grew up with him as a puppy. He'd let him in the stall, let him eat with him. My new horse does not like that. So Fergus has had a little bit of not all horses love me. So he's learned that he can't really share with this one. So they've come to a truce. When I'm brushing my horse now, he's in the aisleway a little bit like this. And so they touch noses and they're kind of getting a truce going on. But I'll tell you who he really likes is the donkey. My dog.
Talk about your donkey.
My dog and the donkey. There is a class when you drive horses, or what my donkey qualifies as is a VSE, a very small equine. So when I drive him in the cart, there's a class that you can have the best cart dog. So I trained him to ride in the cart. So he thinks that my donkey is his Uber ride. So when he sees me load up the cart, he's like, oh, good. Max is going to pull me around. So he's learned to ride in the cart. He loves it in the cart.
Where do you take the donkey?
Well-
what are places? What kind of places?
Well, at home, I do drive him at home. I've had him at Broad Places Farm. He was there for a season, so Robin's granddaughter could drive him and have fun with him. My intention was to always kind of compete him, because how I learned about it was I also do announcing for horse shows, driving shows, things like that. So the Senecta, which is the southeastern New England Driving Training Association, had hired me to do their announcing for a few of their shows, which was out in Douglas, Mass, or Dudley, or wherever I was out. And I learned about the cart class, and I asked the judge, would my donkey qualify to be able to come to compete and she said yes, he would be a very small equine. And I always intended to take him and show him, but I still haven't gotten there. So I've just got a young gal that is the granddaughter of a newer client, and she came out to drive Max the other day, and she enjoyed him in the cart. So she might be willing to take him and show him. So we'll see.
There are some Rehoboth-related events coming up in the area, aren't there?
Yeah, isn't there the Rehoboth breed something? What's going on? It's September 13th.
I saw it online, and I said, oh, this is interesting.
Yeah.
I'd like to go over there and see what's going on there.
Well, you know, Rehoboth used to have the Rehoboth Fair that used to be at the Taunton Dog Track,
Yes.
which is now the Mannheim whatever, and then that went away. And then one of our townspeople, Ray View, tried to resurrect the Rehoboth Fair in a way. So he had the Rehoboth Breed Show for a long time with the horses, and I was the voice of the breed show. And it moved from a farm on 118 to behind La Salette Shrine. So we were there for a few years, but unfortunately Ray got very sick. He got some kind of bacteria or something, and he could no longer run the event. And another lady in town did it for a couple of seasons, but it petered out. Ray was the energy of the breed show. So, but you know, I'm going to tell. So you remember Robin that came on with me?
Of course.
All right. So Robin is kind of my boss. Well, I freelance teach for riding. So I do that, but I'm also the resident trainer at Broad Places. And it's a boutique barn, so, you know, I'm not run off my feet by any means. Well, when I first went there, Fergus was young, and I had started the training with Jeff. But I met her, and she decided that year to run classes for some people to do rally training with the dogs. So do you want to explain what rally is?
I kind of know what it is, but
Okay.
you tell me.
Okay, so for me, the rally, okay, so this is how I seen it first. She had a little gathering for dog people, and, you know, she gave out little ribbons and stuff like that. So it was a learning, she made it like a learning venue at her big, beautiful farm for all of us to come. And I was actually able to get his, because she had judges there, his citizenship, good citizen.
So he is a canine good citizen.
He's a canine good citizen and an advanced good citizen. He has both. And he has trick dog. He has trick dog beginner and intermediate. But I seen this little area she had set up, and it had a bunch of signs. Now, my riding with horses discipline is dressage. And dressage is we memorize tests to ride with a horse. So in other words, we execute movements at certain places. Well, I seen these signs and I went, oh, this is like doggy dressage. I can do this in my sleep. I just got to train him how to do it. So I asked her, I kind of said, hey, what's this? And she goes, oh, that's rally. I said, okay, well, what's I said, it looks like dog dressage to me. So she said, yeah, kind of it is. So she said, you know what? Why don't I set up some classes and we'll do it? So she did. And for people that didn't have dogs, she let them borrow her dogs. She was slippery in that. She got some training in there, you know. Yeah, she slipped it under with a few people. I love her for that. Anyway, And she, she's got her beautiful labs. They're
Of course.
Oh my gosh, the best, the best. So, of course, Fergus wasn't as well behaved then. But anyway, I love Rally. I have never competed him yet. I want to this winter. I'm going to in Florida. They have a big show in Brooksville, and Robin will be there. And I told her, don't let me miss it. I said, because he's ready, finally. Because he's 5 years old this year. So I've been doing with him. So there are little signs where you go, and the dog and you must execute the movement. Like it'll say, turn 360 degrees, come to heel, down. Then I walk around him. Then he has to learn how to get up, come front. All these things. And to me, it isn't even getting to go to show him, Brian. That's the thing. The rally, the practice for the rally made us a team. Like he knows now. I had him somewhere. I was, we went somewhere and I took Fergus. It was like one of his first times he was on vacation and got to stay in a hotel room. So we took him and I had him on a walk with us and I said, to the left, to the left. Some guy stopped me and he goes, your dog knows what that means? And I said, yeah, but it was from Rally. Because he has to go, find the directions. Now, does he know left? Probably not. Did he understand my hand direction? Absolutely. So it just made it great. And that's what's made him an even better trained dog. So I tell people, if you get a dog and you want to do something fun, if you do the Rally and you practice the directives, it just makes you and your dog like a great team. Because I can take him to restaurants that allow, he's great.
More and more facilities, restaurants and coffee shops and things are inviting people to come with their dogs.
Well, they're getting the idea that dogs are just not pets, they're family members. Now there's another thing Robin did for me. She did this, and I think more places, facilities that train like the puppies and the dogs, like Canine Mastery and places like that, I think they should have something like this. She ran a little birthday party day. So we all came with the young dogs and taught them how to, when there's other dogs around, the temptation, they had to get crazy.
Of course.
Yeah, that they learn to sit with you so that you can have, that changed my whole world with him. That one little party changed my whole world with him. And he still got his little birthday cookie thing and whatever, but we all learned to sit around and the dogs be obedient and be part of the party without being, overzealous, crazy, obedient, but yet be part of things. Don't you feel that a lot of times places don't want people with dogs because kind of the dogs are unruly?
And misbehaved.
Right.
And
right. So for me,
they don't follow directions.
So for me, I wanted to enjoy life with him. That's why I waited, right? I waited 23 years to get him so that I didn't just have a dog. I wanted to enjoy him. So training for me wasn't so much like I want to brag that I've got this trained dog. It was, I really wanted him to be able to come everywhere with us, do everything with us, be in a hotel, enjoy my life with him. And I have to tell you, my sister-in-law, because my husband's family isn't like animal, crazy. My sister-in-law and brother-in-law kind of are, but because they used to have German Shepherds. But she always tells me, well, I want you to bring Fergus because he's better behaved than the human guests. So that makes me proud that I can take him so that he can be part of Christmas. He can be part of Thanksgiving. He's part of everything. And I think that's why we need to train them, so that we can enjoy them and everybody else doesn't go, oh no, he's going to jump on me or he's going to scratch me. Or
he's very well behaved.
Yeah. And don't you think, you are a dog judge and you've been around a lot more than me with dogs, but don't you find that when they are trained, they also know their place and it gives them confidence? You get rid of the anxiety and I just think because he understands his place, he's not anxious, and he's not always barking, and he's not always upset.
He's never barked once here.
And when he does bark, this see something. There's something outside. Now he gets me because now he's never done business in the house, and I was diligent when he was a puppy. I did crate train him, and there's a lot of controversy about crate training. People are like, rah, rah, rah. To me, I don't think it's cruel. Yes, when he was a puppy, did I have the crate locked? Yes. Now, I just took the door off of his crate. I have a cover. That's his happy place. When he's sick of Bill and I, he goes in it. He's like, I've had enough of you humans. I'm in here. In the morning, because I feed him in his crate, because he likes peace and quiet, he'll go flop himself in the crate like, hey, it's time for breakfast. What are you doing? But I definitely, I really feel that, I crate trained him for the potty training. And so he doesn't even know he can go in the house. Now, was this a huge pain to do? Yes. I set my watch when he was a puppy every 2 hours, up and out. Next month, every 3 hours, up and out. By 6 months old, he was trained. I had him ringing a bell to go out, but now he has the sound. I never knew dogs really made this sound. He does. Woof. Woof. And listen, I gotta go. Now, the controversy in our family is, although I potty trained him, he does not wake me up in the morning to go out. He goes and bothers Bill to do it.
Well, I know Bill from breakfast. Bill gets up early in the morning.
He does, but he wakes him up. He'll go over to his side of the bed and thump it and woof.
That's the signal to go out.
Yes. So I said, he'll say to me all the time, why doesn't he wake you up? I said, I don't know. Maybe he feels I deserve to sleep and you're his pal and you need to put him out. But I don't know why he chose Bill for that. But to me, that's a scream because I was the one that taught him. He does know the words pee-pee and potty. So I do when we travel. I try to, but I'll tell you this. He's a little bit willful about that. He does not like to do pee-pee or potty on the leash. So, and I never knew this. Robin taught me this. I never knew dogs can have OCD. He's got it. Because I said to her, Robin, why? Here's the food dish before I started feeding him in the crate. Here's the food dish. I have a butcher block thing in the middle of the kitchen. I said, there's a straight line from here to the food dish. But he always has to go counterclockwise to go to the food dish. I have watched him forget, stop, back up, and go counterclockwise to the food dish. And I was like, she goes, no, some dogs do have it. If he's got an itch, now, I know dogs will do this, scratch for a while, not him. He'll go till I say, hey, enough. And then he'll sit there, stop scratching, and go, oh, I'm glad you stopped me. So it's just who he is. I caught him chewing his toenails the other day. I'm like, what's up with that? So he's got his little quirks, but that's what makes him cool.
How do you keep him so beautifully groomed?
Okay, so I was always taking him to a groomer when I first got him because I kind of didn't know how to trim him. Although he has my hair, and many people say, we look alike. Yeah, okay. So I'm good about that. So anyway, I'm like, all right, how do I take care of this hair? So I knew I had to brush him often because as a puppy, his hair was a little finer and would mat. I will tell you this breed, you do need to brush them. You do need to take care of the hair. Yes, he does not shed like an average a dog with fur. He has hair. This is actual like human hair. All right, so I bought this grooming thing that has a vacuum on it. So as I clip, I can see, and the hair gets vacuumed. This changed the whole thing for me. So the gal that was doing him, she did a lovely job. She was a very nice, I love her. She's a good gal. She always took care of Fergus for me. She told me it was the best dog she had to groom. But it's pricey.
Very.
And I do all his grooming. I mean, I made sure as a puppy, I had to lay on him on the table to teach him to cut his toenails. And I used that, they have that little, like, Dremel thing. So I started easy with that because it's sensitive. So, but now I cut his toenails, I brush his teeth, I clean his eyes, I clean his ears. But to give him the clip, where do you learn anything anymore? Where? YouTube. I was on YouTube watching all the different cuts, and because I trim my own horse, if I have to give blanket clips or, you know, a high blanket clip or a full body clip or whatever I do, I'm like, well, why can't I do him? The face is tricky. I'm glad that I've had enough practice by the time I came on TV. He doesn't have a hack job on him, but that took me a while. But I had to learn how to use the combs on the thing. But that vacuum, that clipper with the vacuum, because otherwise to clip him, you can't even see because there's so much, you know, hair, you can't see what you're doing. But I watched YouTube and I finally figured out where to use the scissors, how to cut around the cranium, how to get the leather on the ears just nice. And it's taken me a while, I'd say, to perfect it, about a good year. But, you know, he has mommy trim him, so it's better. You know, right, buddy? You want to do some stuff? You want to show? Come here. Come here, come here, get up. Come here, show that you know some stuff. Come here. No, don't sit like a Muppet. Come on, Fergus, up. Up. Come over. I know. Come over here. Come to me. No, come. This is who
he's gonna.
Now, notice how he never just sits. He flops.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a flopper. In the middle of the night, you hear flop. Come. Up. For me. Come. Give me the paw. All right. How about the other paw? Okay, how about both? Come on. You can do it. You're on rug. Come on. Give me the other one. Oh, brilliant. You're good. Can you
nice
do,
boy.
Can you do down? Can you do bang? Bang. Do the bang. Oh, look at you. Good. Now, Fergus, they want to hear you. Okay, I'll let you eat first. Fergus, speak. Good job.
Wow.
Yeah. Tell them. Now, if we had the ball, you could do the ball and the Frisbee. You're a little lax on the Frisbee. Now, the Frisbee, the effort, see, he's too smart. You know, some dogs just run to get it. Well, he thought he would just wait till it hit the ground and then go get it and bring it. Yeah, we had to work on that. So what I had to do is not pay him. But anyway, that he's gotten that down now.
He's amazing.
Yes, he's a good dog. Come over here. Face the camera so everybody can see you. Oh, great, flop.
Very handsome, Fergus. And they've just told me this is the 3rd episode to finish. You've been on 3 times.
And it flew by.
And I'm very happy to have Fergus as our new guest.
Yay! My puppy's a star. Good dog.
He is and it was great to see you again.
It always is good, Brian.
We always love having you, and you're always welcome to come back.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Fur, Fins, and Feathers. We are now nationally syndicated, so